on the advantages of the wet textile processing industry market and share valuable experiences. Meanwhile, Mr. Ranger also highlighted the fact that certain countries are more affected by global warming and drought, and water demand and availability of the textile industry will worsen. With the global concern, focusing on developing new technology to save cost, fewer carbon emissions, and drive sustainable production might be the most important issue, especially for the green revolution. Sustainable production with low environmental impact might be the first place to consider in the market nowadays. I believe everyone must get inspiring ideas. For the last session, it's our great pleasure to have Mr. Florian Finke, Market Development Manager of OSHIMA Machinery Company, as our speaker to share about embracing Industry 4.0. Now, let's welcome Mr. Finke to introduce more about the topic.
Thank you for having me, and today I will be talking about embracing Industry 4.0, harnessing AI's potential in the garment and textile industry. Let me start by introducing our company. We are OSHIMA, and we have more than 5 decades of manufacturing experience, manufacturing machines for the garment and textile industry. We're dedicated to developing smart manufacturing solutions that are creative and innovative and improve productivity while also treasuring our environment. So let us work together to create a better tomorrow. Let me talk a little bit about our traditional best sellers. So we produce spreading machines, which is our flagship product, and we have been producing them since 1971. We also produce cutting machines, which are used to cut out garments. And additionally, we are also focused on checking and inspection machines, which is also what I'm going to talk about today. For our company, we have currently 3 manufacturing sites, a service and distribution network in more than 60 countries, and our own innovation park where we foster startup development and try to find the next big thing in the industry, really. Our headquarters in Taipei, and this is also where our R&D is located. Our key customers are mainly all the big garment and textile companies in the world, especially the Taiwanese ones, which we obviously have a very good relationship with, but we also have very big customers in Europe, the US, Africa, Australia, Southeast Asia. Why we're here today is I want to talk a little bit about what does the industry actually need for success in Industry 4.0. Basically, there's a few factors to consider. So first of all, let's talk about the challenges for apparel manufacturers, for example. In general, there's 6 challenges that there's more, but the main 6 challenges are optimization, tracing your production, measuring your production efficiency, centralized management, which also includes having multiple machines in your factory, which you need to manage in a centralized way. And additionally, on top of this, calculating your actual production cost is hard, especially if you have legacy machines. You have some smart machines, but also some legacy machines which don't really work well together. So our customer are garment and textile factories, but their customers are the big fashion brands. So it is very important for us to understand what our customers' customers are looking for. Basically, they expect sustainability, and they expect material innovation, regenerative technologies, but they also expect digitalization. So digitalization in this context means fast response times, interactive production, and also real-time insights into how is my order going, what is the production time, what is the delivery time, is there any problems with my orders, is there anything that I need to do to push my order. And this is a big part of the current push for Industry 4.0 is to make the supply chain more digital, more open, and in general more accessible. So how are factories evolving to meet this challenge? There's a few different things that is going on in this. First of all, there's a system integration. So you need to integrate your legacy hardware and your software environment. For the last 20, 30 years, every machine that was produced in our industry was, let's call it a dumb machine. So there was no digitalization, there was no IoT functionality, there was no data exchange between the machine and the factory operation. Nowadays, this is changing. So every new machine that we, for example, develop has the capability to exchange data with the factory, with the ERP system, with the dashboard. In this way, there's this ever-growing connection between the hardware side and the virtual side. So in this way, the factories are also developing to be more connected, more integrated, and also integrated with their end customers. And this is something that we have already been working on for the last, let's say, 10 years. And this will drive the digital transformation in the textile industry. In order to have a successful transformation, there's a certain key aspects that have to be achieved. So you need novel business concepts, you need digital information systems, you need real-time monitoring, and also product history traceability, which is very important. Then you need to visualize your production in detail. You need a production monitoring and control system. You need a production information record, and you need high-end production technologies. All of this will help our customers and their customers to cater to a more and more diverse market. Fast fashion and digital commerce are driving order volumes worldwide. And in this new environment, the factory has to be ready to embrace the change. In the old times, maybe it takes a few months for a new product fashion line to drop, but nowadays this is very instant because of the availability of information, smart changes, fast changes in marketing strategies, and also social media. Influencers promote one product line one day and a different one the next day. So the factory has to be able to immediately respond to these challenges and the customers' orders in real time, really. So what we try to enable the factory to do is to have a real-time production control, boost output, and eliminate anomalies. We will also try to digitalize the order scheduling and the process information system. All of this can help to achieve real-time factory integration, and it will also help with the order management to the customers. So I already started on this topic a little bit, but how can OSHIMA help? What can we actually do to get our customers to embrace Industry 4.0? We provide a full range of connected machinery, which includes our fabric inspection machine, our spreading machines, and our cutting machines. These machines are all ready for Industry 4.0. They have data input, data output, remote control, remote management, and also remote error management. So this means that whenever there's a problem in the factory, there's real-time feedback of what is going on, how can it fixed, and this data is also transferred to the end customer. All of this will enable our customers to really build the factory of the future. Let's talk about some details. I would like to play a short video to introduce our newest So the machine you've just seen in the video is our new Eagle AI intelligent fabric inspection machine. Basically, it is a complete redesign of the way that fabric inspection has been done in a factory. Let me go back in time a little bit. Before this new technology emerged, every single fabric in the factory, this is garment and textile factories, has been inspected visually by a person, by a worker. These are normally highly skilled workers that sit at a light table. So there's a light behind the fabric, and the fabric runs through this light table. And they use their own eyes, their vision, to detect any flaws that might be in the fabric. So as you can imagine, this is a very tiring job. The fabric goes very fast. There's only a few milliseconds to detect each anomaly, each flaw. And we're humans after all, so we get tired, we have a bad day, your eyes have a problem, maybe eventually when you do this for many years. So our approach is to take this concept and digitalize it. So in this way, we developed our intelligent inspection machine. This machine was actually developed with one of our key customers and also in cooperation with the Taiwan Technology Research Institute. And what we've done is we've taken a very large data set of fabric defects that our customer has provided. And we've taken this large data set to build an intelligent system. Basically, as you might know, that for artificial intelligence, data is key. The more data you have, the more accurate is your AI model. And we are very lucky that we had access to probably the largest defect database in the Asia Pacific region. And we've taken this database and built our AI around this database. This means that we have a defect identification rate of more than 90%. Because of our industry and manufacturing knowledge, our machine is suitable for elastic and woven textiles. We are able to detect color flaws and color problems. And at the same time, all of this data is live, it's real time. So you can put the textile you want to inspect into the machine. You can start the machine, and within a few seconds, you will have your first output of the defects in this fabric. There's different way to track this output. So you could give a score to the whole roll, or you could look for certain defects that you want to specifically pay attention to, or you could just generate a report to submit to your customer for acceptance or rejection of the order. So this machine was developed and manufactured entirely in Taiwan, which ensures safety of your data, safety of your factory, and it also helps to keep our customer safe with their data in general. Our camera has the highest solution in the industry, around 16K. And here's some examples of the defect pictures that our camera can detect. These defects can be very small, so 0.08 millimeter per pixel in this case. So we have different types of defects in the industry that we can detect. Some of these are mentioned here. So oil stains, crease, defect wrap, defect filling, torn yarn, chemical stains, holes, scratches, and also color spots. Here's a few more examples that we can detect. As you can see from the screenshots, our AI takes a picture of the fabric while it runs through the machine. And every time there's an anomaly, it will give a notification to the operator. If it's an anomaly that he already knows, so for example, it's a color spot, it knows it's a color spot, it will simply mark it as a color spot. But the fantastic thing about a self-learning algorithm is that if there's a new flaw, if there's a new defect that it has not experienced before, the operator can manually tell the system what kind of defect this is. So for example, if you have a pinhole, a pinhole defect which the machine never handled before, the operator will let the machine know this defect is something that we care about. This defect is something that in the future I want you to detect, and the machine will automatically learn to detect this defect in the future. So this means by starting on the journey with this new machine, you will get better and better. Whereas a worker, for example, will get old. I mean, it takes many years to learn this skill to detect such kind of defects. And once they're ready to retire, this whole process has to be restarted. But for our machine, it's the opposite, basically. It starts at a good standard level. And the more you run your fabric through the machine, the more it gets used to your fabric, the better it will get, until eventually there's probably nothing that can beat our machine visually or other systems, because it's a self-learning. So it will get better and better. Another benefit of our machine compared to any other machine in the market is that we can guarantee fabric tension, which is very important for the garment industry. Because let's say you are preparing your garment to a certain shape in your cutting machine, but the tension is wrong, so that the size of the garment will change, even though you don't want it to change. So maybe your XL will turn into L, as an example, and which will be very bad for your customer. So with our proprietary technology in this machine, we're able to use this inspection machine for flexible fabric as well, which is a big plus, because more and more textiles, more and more sports gear are made with flexible fabrics. We have two different solutions of our machine, actually. One is more geared towards the textile industry, and one is more to the garment industry. Two different problems, but we have two different solutions. So for the textile industry, we also offer a packing machine. How it would normally work is, in the textile industry, once the fabric is produced, it will be going through the inspection in our machine. Afterwards, it will give a grade, which will be transmitted to the customer, and then the fabric will be packed in a packing machine ready for shipment. And on the opposite end, in the garment industry, the inspection is normally something that comes first, before the whole production process starts. So the roll will be received, it will be inspected, and then it will be graded, or any errors will be detected, so that these error patches can be avoided in the final garment. And also it helps the garment factory to settle any claims with their textile supplier regarding bad quality or problems that they discover, which of course is a huge money saver, and will definitely improve the bottom line over time. Now, I was mentioning before about the different types of machine that we offer. In our idea of Industry 4.0, the focus is not on the individual machine. The focus is on the factory. The factory has to be connected. It's kind of like a live organism. So, and the brain of this organism, the brain of the factory, will always be your dashboard. This means that you will have a central place in your factory where you can see the status, the problems, the efficiency of every single machine you have running on the workshop. So every single machine that we offer will be connected to your dashboard. This gives you 24/7 live view of what is going on in your factory. This gives you your ability to predict orders, order fulfillment times. It gives you the ability to predict your downtime. your efficiency, so you can rearrange workers if necessary. If you have a big order and your customer is chasing you, you can share the live information with your customer. And all of this opens up many new interesting aspects of running a factory. You can improve your efficiency, you can improve your digitalization, you can improve your customer relationship by being more open, more transparent, and you can also have the ability to immediately solve problems as soon as they come up, which really for us is the key aspect of Industry 4.0. It is information has to be ready anytime. Your analysis has to be in real time. And this is what we are enabling our customers to do with tying all our machines into our system. This is one example of our customer using this type of dashboard. So you see you have real life information of energy usage, machine uptime, remote maintenance. So you see which machine has to be maintained, when this has to be done, how are the orders running, what is the efficiency. All these informations need to tie together in order to be successful in the implementation of Industry 4.0. If one of these pillars is not there, your efficiency will suffer and your customers might push you, or if you're unlucky, they might move on to the next factory for their needs. So in our opinion, the sooner we can embrace Industry 4.0, the sooner we can meet the demand of today's industry. Talking about the dashboard, I also want to introduce some of our other machines that can work with this dashboard. You will have, for example, our smart automated cutting machine. This machine is used to take the layers of fabric from the spreading machine and cut them to the desired shape. This machine, as a connected machine, is able to take the work order from the spreading machine and adjust itself to exactly this work order. So it knows what fabric is going in, it knows what settings to apply, and it can then give feedback to the dashboard of what is the status of this cutting, what is the next step, what am I done with. This gives then again information to the next step in the factory of when we can proceed with this work order. Same for our spreading machine. Basically, you take your fabric roll from your storage, you load it up, you scan the QR code, and the machine knows, okay, it's this type of fabric, I need these and these parameters, I need to cut, I need to spread to this length, I need to spread to this height. As you can see, all of this is kind of working together. If you only have one machine that is intelligent, it doesn't really give you much benefit. But if you combine all these steps that I've just talked about together, you can truly achieve automation at a very high level, which will tremendously reduce your downtime, it will reduce labor hours, it will increase efficiency, and it will reduce energy usage, it will reduce your operation costs. Another example, this is one of our specialized machines, I would say. During the pandemic, there was, of course, a very high demand for PPE, which actually we went to MET as part of the Team Taiwan. So this machine is a world first. It's a ground level fabric loading system, which means that in the old style of this machine, the fabric roll would ride on top of the spreading machine. But with the ground loading system, the roll is placed on the ground and then inserted into the machine by pulling it. This means it doesn't matter how thick or how heavy your roll is. You can add as many rolls as you want, up to 8, and it can spread these rolls at the same time. Of course, it's a huge efficiency boost It's very great for high volume multi-layer productions, isolation gowns, medical masks, and another machine that can also be integrated into our dashboard. Of course, talking about inspection, we also have our needle detector, which is used to inspect the final garment for any metal residue, such as needles that might be inside the garment. And of course, if a needle stays inside a garment, it can cause injuries. It's something that definitely has to be avoided. And it's a very vital part of the supply chain. And taking this concept a little bit further of integrated inspection, integrated quality control. If you take your needle detector by itself, it's great, but you still need to have the logistics in the background. Calibration, bookkeeping, record keeping, because this is something your customer wants to know. So what we do is we take our metal detector and we combine it with our barcode reader. This means the garment will pass through the metal detector and it will be turned 90 degrees, it's an industry requirement, and it will go through another metal detector. It will then go through the barcode scanner. So you automatically have a record of which garment was scanned, which garment had a problem, which garment had a pass. And all this information will be collected in real time without any workers' input, without any errors, without any mischief going on. Because you have a record, you have a solid record that you can share with your customer, and you have complete control over your quality control process. In conclusion, we think that the digital transformation has to start in every factory, in every part of the supply chain. And what we do is we enable our customers to start this digital transformation process by giving them the tools, the software, the hardware, and the experience to really build a factory from the ground up that is digital, that is real time, that is responsible, that is sustainable, and also economic, because every part of Industry 4.0 has to connect to the other. Because if a tiny part of your factory is digital and well connected, and it doesn't really matter, because if the rest of the factory is not connected to this small part, your whole operation fails. Because let's say you have a problem in a certain part of your factory that you cannot control, where you don't have real time information, it will affect every other part of your factory because everything is connected. If you have a problem in quality control, you have a problem with your orders. You have a problem in shipment. If you have a problem in your incoming inspection, you have a problem in your production. The only way to really, truly embrace Industry 4.0 is by digitalizing every aspect of your operation and giving this real-time information to the people that need it. And I think we're your best choice to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Finke, for the splendid presentation and sharing. With 5 decades of manufacturing experience, the vision of OSHIMA is to be a creative brand, as well as the breakthrough focus on the development of intelligent and sustainable products that improve productivity while also treasuring our environment, which has combined solutions and business opportunities. Under the trend of textile machinery industry, through innovation and willingness, OSHIMA has faced the challenges with no doubt. Material innovation, sustainable production, customer experiences, and rapid response are 4 important points of the textile industry's green and digital revolution. Mr. Finke shared their experiences and invite all to create a better vision future in the meantime. Through the in-depth exchanges, I believe many ideas are just like a humble seed waiting to grow. Ladies and gentlemen, After hearing so many insightful and in-depth discussions from our speakers, this webinar has come to an end. Today, we have 3 representatives from textile machinery field leaders to share their opinions on Taiwan's textile machinery industry, transforming digitally and developing sustainable business opportunities. In response to the global trends of textile manufacturing, these world-leading manufacturers not only strive to innovate, but also enhance the possibilities of intelligence systems and the green industry. Once again, we thank the speakers for their remarkable speeches, and we thank everyone for your participation. We hope you find today's webinar informative and fruitful. And that brings us to the end of today's webinar. We hope you the best, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.